11 Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Tuesday evening from Conpro Field in Buffalo, New York. Beautiful night for football, and it's Andy Hamilton along with Levant Irvine here for the Simulation Football League. More Week 13 action for you as the Queen City Corsairs welcome the Baltimore Vultures into town. Levant, Baltimore comes in with the head-to-head lead 3-1, but Queen City desperately needs this win.
Not only that, but they are a force to be reckoned with in the late season. Some of these seasons they've had, slow starts, but they come in it with some force late in the season. And this is a time where Baltimore really can't underestimate their opponents.
The last time that these two teams faced off, however, Queen City did get the win right here at Conpro Field, a victory in Season 12. Baltimore, since then, lost just 3 times in the playoffs that season, as well as 2 times this year. And now they will face again in a pivotal Week 13 matchup where the Corsairs are trying to get into the playoffs. It's rather simple, and it all starts, Levant, here with a win right now. If they can't win this game, they are most likely going to be on the outside looking in.
Yeah. And it's going to be key because there are other teams really looking at this situation right now, primarily, trying to make sure that Queen City doesn't win this game. So Queen City is really needing to show out here today.
Corsairs will kick to start this one off. Baltimore Vultures will receive. Baltimore wearing white, Queen City wearing their black and green socks. For those of you who might be new to the Simulation Football League, we are underway out across the 25 to the 30-yard line. Nice return coming from Kaz McFly, and we will start with this Baltimore Vulture offense led by Mike Dazzo, but the real superstar of this offense is the halfback, T. Roy Gaines.
He really drives the force of this offense. He's really able to get those tough yardage. He moves the chains with the greatest of ease, and he's going to be one to watch.
They will start here on the opening snap with a bunch formation. Dazzo going to throw a corner route. Caught right up the field. It took one play, and they were able to find Lloyd Graham Jr., the tight end, for a first down.
And that's another sign of the strength of this offense. They like to also, go vertical with their tight ends. They have such a great receiving corps that, this is a well-balanced offense, honestly.
Single back in the backfield for the Vultures. Handoff Gaines up the middle. T. Roy Gaines bottled up well on that first carry.
One of the things this Queen City defense is going to need to key in on is as soon as they get Gaines covered, they know it's a very dangerous thing because the Queen City's most favored style likes to employ a lot of members in the secondary, so they have to contain him at the line.
Give to Gaines again. Contained he was. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Yeah, this is where Queen City really wants to make sure Baltimore is. If they can keep him in 3rd and long and have them test their, potent secondary with those safeties back there, that's how Queen City would like to attack this offense.
Queen City secondary boosts 5 members. We'll get to them throughout the broadcast, but here with 9.5, Dazzo is going to float one, and that's nearly picked off. He was lucky it wasn't. Right into the hands of Tim Jacoby, but he could not bring it in. Either way, going to be a turnover here as Baltimore is going to punt it away.
Yeah, I would have to say that, Queen City's really came out with that opening defensive script that really forced Baltimore to have to throw into the teeth of the defense there. And I liked what I've seen from them so far. We'll see how Baltimore bounces back on their next drive.
Snapped back. Queen City does not come after it. They will let the punt go. It's going to be fair caught at the 10-yard line for the Corsairs, and they will bring out their offensive unit led by A.J. Caswell, 3rd most yards coming into this week, 3,644, and it's going to be important for him to get going.
Yeah, they're very definitely one of the keys for this offense is they want to get vertical real quick, real fast in a hurry, and if they can get the ball to Chris Curtis often, that's going to be the difference for them.
You're going to have to work against two talented cornerbacks for this Vultures team. Shotgun snap. Caswell throws, nearly picked off. It was in and out of the hands of Chad Gilson, their Week 8 rookie signing. He could not come up with it, and Baltimore almost did.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have a lot of coverage over the top. You know, the Baltimore secondary is one of the best in the league at stopping those plays, and you know they have a lot of takeaways between McFly and Thornberry, so that is something to watch.
15 interceptions between the pair, 7 for Thornberry, 8 for Kaz McFly coming into tonight's game. Caswell in trouble, floats one, tipped up, there's a pick! Intercepted and taken away by the man himself, Kaz McFly. Just as I read out that Thornberry was only one behind him, he one-upped it, now has 9 on the season.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about right here. This is how, you know, how aggressive they are on defense. You know, they're able to swarm to the receiver, and as soon as they get there, they're gonna just swarm on that ball and attack it. They're one of the best teams in the league at attacking the football once it's in the air.
Now has 9 interceptions, which ties him for the league lead along with Alex Bond. I know Gus Schultz got one earlier this week, so he is up there as well. Handoff here to T-Roy Gaines. Gaines getting loose for the first time tonight, and it was all he needed was one. Touchdown, Baltimore. T-Roy Gaines into the end zone.
That's just an extremely terrible mistake by the defensive lineman right here. You should just see him whiff with that arm tackle, and Gaines was able to shift away, had just enough, and just drove it into the end zone.
Good block by Cliff Boston, a rookie Week 12 signing right at the deadline. They brought in big number 44 to help block for Gaines as they gear up for the playoffs, and Gaines makes Queen City pay for that quick turnover. It was a batted ball if you went to grab a popcorn and had to come back, and you see Baltimore with the ball down in the end zone, and 7-0 Vultures on top on the road. Queen City gets another stab at it when we come back. It's the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports. Andy Hamilton along with Levant Irvine for this Week 13 matchup at Conpro Field. Queen City got off to a good start, stopping Baltimore's offense on their opening drive, but a Kaz McFly interception, and Baltimore was able to put points on the board, 7-0. Now a deep bring out for Queen City's return man. He will only get out to the 21-yard line. Chad Gilson decided to bring it out from deep. So it's going to be 1st and 10 with 9:04. And they are going to have to try and get this offensive unit going that threw an interception on their last drive. 3 receivers split out here for Caswell. They will give to the back. Jared Willis is the halfback, 5'11", 215, and he plows forward for 6. So it's Willis who leads the way for Queen City. He is going up against T-Roy Gaines tonight. 2 solid running backs trying to go head-to-head, and now a bunch formation for the Corsairs. Caswell going to just dump it out to Willis. Willis has the angle. Willis has the lane, and the first down before Amon Takes brings him down.
This is something Queen City's really going to need to get started early. Is if Willis can have a big day against Baltimore. They're expecting pass from this team, and Willis right there has just hit him twice in the gut with great runs.
Three receivers wide, Caswell under center, 3-3 look out of the defense. They give to Willis with some room. Willis spins off one and is able to pick up 9. Solid running from Jared Willis.
Yeah, they're finding the gaps in the defense, and they're just finding these lanes for Willis to run through. 3 straight runs here on this drive, and Baltimore's just being beat up across.
They like to call him the E-back. This is his first year in Queen City, coming over from Chicago. Chicago has locked up their playoff spot, and Jared Willis is trying to get his new team in as well. Caswell out route thrown here. Almost jumped by the defender. Baltimore was trying for another one. Tony Willis tried to jump the route, but James Matthew Jr. is able to haul it in.
Yeah. Well, against most teams, you have probably, a couple, like 2 seconds to throw. Against Baltimore, you probably have 1.5 to even 1 second to throw because they are so fast on the ball.
Short jump, and there is the jump as well from Baltimore. That was Kaz McFly again, ever dangerous, and it looks like they are watching these out routes really well. And there's a look at the playoff standings. Queen City on the outside looking in at 11. Sioux Falls plays later, and for Queen City, 6-6 is the magic number. If you can get there, it'll all come down to what Sioux Falls can do later tonight. Head-to-head, Queen City below Sioux Falls at 0-1. So a win tonight over Baltimore would not only help their strength of victory, but also their full record as a whole. Nice throw there is good for 9, complete to Chad Gilson. They are using him a lot tonight.
And I feel like part of that is just the coverage on the outside there with McFly and Thornberry have just been locking up the other 2 receivers, and sometimes you got to just take what the defense gives you, and Gilson has been what the defense has given Queen City.
Short drop. Throw caught. JM Jr., James Matthews, the tight end again, and I think they are having to go to some of these secondary weapons as Chris Curtis and Stephen Hacker are having trouble getting open.
You know what? But with a veteran quarterback like Caswell, he's able to identify it, and he's going to have to put faith in his teammates, and that's what he's been doing on this drive.
The Simulation Football League, the world's first controllerless e-sport, taking anyone from couch to field. You can be a player. You don't need a controller. You don't need a game. All you need is to go over to simulationfl.net, join our Discord server where you can chat, get to know everyone in the league, and you can prepare for our rookie draft, which is going to take place on Saturday, December 14th, live from the 11 studios. You can start building your draft stock today. Just join our Discord server. There's a Discord app on your phone and your desktop device, so either way, you can get in on the action. Well, speaking of the action here at Compro Field, 2nd and 10 for A.J. Caswell, who's going to lead his team back to the line. A shotgun look here with 4 receivers deep. 3-2 out of Baltimore. They bring 4. Out route is caught here on the outside and spinning, able to pick up 7 yards. There is Stephen Hacker, his first catch of the night.
Yeah, now that they're starting to tighten up on the middle to try to take some of the other weapons away, that was able to open up the lanes for Hacker to actually get through. He was just on one-on-one coverage that time, and that was just enough to get him free.
This a long drive here for Queen City, down to 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter of play. They find themselves down 7-0. Caswell out route here, caught underneath. Chris Curtis there, his first catch of the game to the 16.
Yeah, they're having a very efficient drive, milking some clock off and getting downfield by any means possible. They're just looking for just an inch, just a foot here and there to get the receivers open, and Caswell's been finding them.
Well, and the less time you can have the dynamic back like T-Roy Gaines on the field, the better. Caswell, another underneath route to Chris Curtis, who gives the stiff arm there to Kaz McFly, but out of bounds at the 11.
Now, Baltimore might need to get some more pressure up front, probably get him on takes on the blitz there. He's pretty good in the front 7, and they're just gonna need to disrupt Caswell's timing. Yes, they got an interception on him earlier, but that was more of a coverage interception. They're gonna need to get some pressure to him.
Looking to throw again. Caswell floats one. Nice crossing pattern there is good for another 4 or 5. That catch made there underneath by Morris Jackson, the second tight end.
Yeah, that's one thing that they have been doing a good job on this drive, been trusting different receivers. They got 4 or 5 different receivers involved on this drive so far.
Haven't gone to Willis as much here as of late. Caswell going to float one. End zone touchdown. Queen City makes it look easy. James Matthews Jr. comes clean on the slant for 6.
Yeah, they just spread the defense apart. They found the mismatch in the zone there, and that was pretty much it. You hit him on the slant, and those are bread and butter in the red zone.
So Queen City answers the Baltimore score from T. Roy Gaines off the interception with a touchdown of their own to James Matthews Jr., a rookie tight end making his impact here at home. Kick on the way and good. We're all knotted up at 7. Baltimore's offense back out on the field. When we return, it's the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. Conpro Field, the site of tonight's Simulation Football League Week 13 action, the chance for anyone to become a player and get on the field. You can become a professional football player, all from the comfort of the couch at home. Return here from Kaz McFly in Baltimore, flagged down. He will get a good return out to the 34-yard line, pending the penalty. And it is going to be offensive holding. So holding call on the return team will back this one up. Levant, that's not what you want to start this drive.
Definitely not, and this is just putting Baltimore a bit on the back foot from all that momentum that they gained with the interception earlier. I mean, they're able to get out of this backfield situation with T-Roy, but, they're going to need a little bit more than that. But, they're starting from the 20. That's not that bad.
T. Roy Gaines, 16 rushing touchdowns, good for second best in the league. But they will start with a flip out to Warfield here, who will get 2. These underneath out routes, Levant, have been key for both teams tonight so far.
Not only that, but it's been bread and butter for most teams in this league, and we're starting to see teams actually effectively cover these routes better, do better than those that don't. As you see right there, how quick the defense was able to react to that, have members in the secondary in the flats to make sure that they don't really get too far.
Bunch formation here. Dazzo slinging it. Caught across the middle. First down catch is made there by Daley Holder. Been doing it in this league for 5 years, and Holder has a first down there.
But there is a weakness to that. And Dazzo exploited it here, right here. You get slants up the middle, and then the members who are out wide have nothing to do in the middle. That leaves Holder wide open for that first down.
Holder formerly played for the San Antonio franchise, which then made their way to Denver just a few short seasons ago. Actually made the championship last year. They're gearing up for another playoff run. Dazzo going to float one deep to the corner. Caught in the open field is Holder again. Down across the 20 to the 15 and all the way down to the 13 before he's shoved out of bounds. Big play for Baltimore.
Just look at it again right here. Just had pressure that time, but when you lose a 50-50 ball like that, that's going to be terrible. He tried to play the ball instead of receiver and had a bad angle on it, and that just let Holder have all that space in front of him. No safety over the top until it was way too late. They saved the touchdown there, but still, big play from Baltimore and Daley Holder.
Last week against Chicago, Daly Holder only able to manage 5 receptions for 65 yards, was held out of the end zone, but he has a big catch there to continue this Baltimore drive. Dazzo going to float one again across the middle. Big first down all the way down to the 1-yard line. Nice catch by Lloyd Graham Jr.
Yeah, now they've realized, okay, we can't really go to the outside much, but they're just going to exploit that middle right there through the seam, have that tight end there. And, yep, just Avery King right there was just left on an island by himself. And you see a tight end, matched up against a linebacker, usually take that bet.
Was working on Jacoby, the linebacker. Now, first and goal. You got to imagine it's T. Roy Gaines' time. It is. And T. Roy is going to walk in nearly untouched for the receiving touchdown. He has a large number of those this season. A small number, only had one so far, but adds a second at the most likely time and is able to sneak into the end zone for a Baltimore 6.
Yeah, it's a very effective play when the teams tend to expect a run, especially with a running back like him. So you get in free lane out to the outside there. If no one's covering the flat, it's pre ELO for Gaines to get right in the end zone.
Had over 500 receiving yards this season. Did T. Roy Gaines. Only found the end zone now twice. Had 101 targets, believe it or not, Levant. And for those of you who are wondering how you can see T. Roy Gaines and this Baltimore team in the postseason, starting on Saturday, October 12th, are the 2 wild card games. The 15th and 16th of October are the quarterfinals, and October 22nd is the semifinals. Then the big one on October 30th, Wednesday night, the Simulation Football League Championship coveted trophy. Alaska has won it 3 seasons in a row. Every other team in the league trying to knock them off. They are back for another playoff run, as is this Baltimore team. And now the Queen City Corsairs are going to try and get their way in as well. They currently sit outside of the playoffs, and lots of people are watching tonight to see how this game works out. Ghibli Doo, Lloyd Graham, and some players like Real Imp Guy watching to see if his Houston Hyenas can get a win out of Baltimore to help their chances of getting in the playoffs. So lots of implications coming from this game alone. Quick flip to the tight end. It's Junior again. 8-yard catch there for James Matthew.
Yeah, that's the 6th different receiver that the Queen City has been able to involve in this game so far. And, against a secondary like this, that's probably what you're going to have to do.
Yeah, use some of those extra players. I completely agree with you, Levant. And Caswell has done a really good job. Besides that early interception, which necessarily wasn't his fault, he's been doing well. Caswell fires that one nearly into the hands of the defender, ends up falling incomplete.
Yeah, we've been making a point of it. Here's Jones Branch about to be the 7th, but here's what you can't be doing. You gotta come up with the ball. You can't run before you come up with the grab, and he just did what I consider a rookie mistake. You gotta make sure you have possession of the ball first before you start going.
Lots of people watching tonight. If you're watching for the first time and wondering what this is, Simulation Football League, where lots of real people game plan against each other, have normal formations just like real football, and let the computer do the work at figuring out who gets the win. Well, getting a nice first down there on the completion was Stephen Hacker. Only 2 catches for him tonight. The 6'5 receiver, they're relying a lot on the veteran.
Yeah, that's definitely something that they're going to need in this matchup, is that veteran leadership. Rally this team back from this deficit and into the lead if they can.
I formation. Jared Willis at the back of that formation. They will flip the underneath throw to Hacker. Hacker picks up 7. That underneath out route with the cross has worked really well for him tonight.
Yeah, they've been able to get players isolated right here. Let's just look at it again right here. Isolated by themselves, and when you have receivers matched up against linebackers like that, that's just a mismatch that's easy to exploit.
Well, when they're calling it on 1st and 10, they pick up 7 or 6 or 8 each time, which really sets them up nicely for 2nd and 3rd down with minimal distance that they need to gain. Despite the minimal distance here, it'll be a shotgun look here for A.J. Caswell. 3-2 look out of the Baltimore defense. They'll rush 4. Caswell going to float one, and there is a flag on the field. Did Matthew Jr. come up with that? Oh my, what a catch.
The catch was great, but let's see what the call on the field is.
That is going to be pass interference on the Vultures. So despite the penalty that goes against Joe Dazzo, Papa, it's going to be a 1st down catch.
Yeah, they just looked at the yardage between the two and figured that 17's more than 15, so they'll take the pass reception. So great catch there in traffic as well.
8th season in the SFL for Joe Dazzo. A lot of the people in the league stay here after they join. They can't get enough of having their name called when the lights are the brightest. Jared Willis going to take this outside handoff for 6, and that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter. Baltimore currently leads by 7, but Queen City trying to answer the 1st score for the 2nd time tonight. We'll be right back from Conpro Field. It's the Simulation Football League on 11. Tonight's Simulation Football League broadcast on 11 is brought to you by APM Music, Production Music Library, and Custom Music House. By Fuel, Beyond Imagination. Visit the all-new SFLinteractive.net today. By Matt Doyle Designs, the official branding partner of the SFL. And by Media Tech Institute. Turn your passion into your profession. Aerial shots tonight brought to you by AirViews, united by drone. Visit airviews.com to see more drone footage. Beautiful fall leaves here in New York. You can go from couch to field. You can join us at the 11 Sports Studios live on December 14th for the rookie draft. Don't miss your chance to have your name called and become a professional football player for one of our 21 franchises. 2nd and 4, deep shot. That's picked. No, it's incomplete. Oh, Kaz McFly had all the opportunity in the world for his 2nd pick, but could not come down with it.
Man, he's been everywhere on this defense today, making big plays, but it just hasn't been able to come down with that 2nd pick. But I mean, that was real close. Great acrobatic play there to even get close to that.
Had all the opportunity in the world, but it leaves a 3rd and 4 for the Corsairs on the edge of field goal range. Flip out to the back here. Willis has to go through 3, cannot do it. Baltimore swarms, and 4th and 2 is on the way for the Corsairs, who are down by 7. Gonna leave this Corsairs team. No, excuse me. They're gonna leave the offense out on the field. Man-to-man coverage. It looks like Baltimore is playing. Will A.J. Caswell, snap the ball? Maybe look at James Matthews Jr.? No, they will take a timeout trying to draw Baltimore off sides, and it didn't work.
Yeah, that was just... I never like when teams do that. Go ahead.
This Baltimore defense able to get the stop, and they are in the playoffs. They have locked up their number 3 seed, they have not locked up their top 6 seed and their spot in the playoffs. As you see, they're currently listed in 3rd. They are playing for seeding, and whether they will have the home field advantage throughout the playoffs or just the 1 week bye, and then they will decide where they play. Kick on the way here is going to be pinpointed towards that 6-yard line. It's going to bounce and go out at the 3. A beautiful punt from from Ricky Matthews.
That right there was right in the coffin corner, right? That's what you like to see out of your kicking team right there.
Beautiful kick will back Baltimore up to the 3-yard line. And they are going to have to try and get out of it. Bunch formation here. T. Roy Gaines dots the I. Has 1,000 yards, but it'll be Dazzo who's going to be dropped for the safety. Queen City in there in a hurry, and the Corsairs put 2 points on the board from Kyrie Hasten.
That's what I was talking about right there earlier. They need to get pressure quick and fast to the quarterback, and that time they had almost every member of the defensive line there in the backfield. That's great penetration there by Queen City.
And it really, all the credit goes to Ricky Matthews, the punter, who pinned the Baltimore Vultures deep, and now Baltimore will have to punt it away to the Corsairs, who get 2 points from that field position game. And a good return, but the ball's on the turf, and Queen City recovers. Almost disaster. Levant and I just shock and awe.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just speechless at how quick that could have changed right there. Wow. Took a heavy shot and... Whew. The emotions are flaring up in this game. It feels like a playoff game. It's for the playoffs, and Queen City right here almost gave up a big one.
Well, and those are the type of breaks that change the face of a game, and we'll see if Queen City is able to take their break and do anything bigger with it. Flip out to Curtis. Chris Curtis picks up 8 to the 47. Now under 10 minutes to go here in this second quarter, and the fireworks already flying. Those 2 points could come back to bite Baltimore. Now only up by 5, so a touchdown would give the Queen City Corsairs the lead, but for now, they're just trying to get past the midfield stripe. Caswell gonna throw outside. That is caught. Hacker, first down, feet inbounds. Nice catch, and he steps out to make it 1st and 10 at the 49.
There's that out route you've been talking about again. That time, Hacker was isolated once again, all by himself, and was able to get just enough for the first down.
And Queen City in the week prior must have done some scouting and seen something on the film throughout the other 12 games that Baltimore has, or 11 games that Baltimore has played to this point, and seen something about these out routes that work as Hacker makes another catch for 3. And Levant, that's the beauty of the league, is that as a coordinator and a play caller for these teams, you get to build your playbook based on what the other team does and really go head to head.
Yeah, and it adds a new layer of tension watching your teams actually play out. Sometimes you see things that you're like, wait a second, why is it calling that here? Why am I stuck in this? And you know what? That's just That's just the beauty of the beast there, right there.
So you can become a player, a coach, maybe one day even a team owner and get to build your branding in the city of your choice. Flip out here, Caswell, beautiful throw. Just a rainbow to Steven Hacker, and Hacker pulls it in at the 34, an unbelievable toss.
Once again, just isolated all by his lonesome there. Well, actually, no. He was just in between three defenders and was able to cut right across. You know, sometimes it just feels that way with where he was. But he made one defender look silly with that cut right there and made some space for himself.
Caswell, the quarterback, Jared Willis, the halfback. We'll get to the rest of the Queen City offense just a moment. Flip out to Hacker. Hacker and Chris Curtis are the two receivers. James Matthew Jr., the tight end, and Chad Gilson. We've called his name a couple times tonight. This Queen City offense now moving the ball well.
Yeah, they've been really gelling together now. Now they've seen what Baltimore is able to provide them. Now they got a good read on it, so now they're just finding soft spots in the zone, and I feel like Baltimore's really got to amp up the pressure on this quarterback.
This Baltimore defense starting in a 3-3 will only bring 3. Caswell going to float, nearly picked off again. Man, Kaz McFly has had 3 big opportunities, and he's 1 for 3 on interceptions.
This is why he's called the no-fly zone, however. That ball was a little floaty, and you can't leave a floater right in front of McFly. He's going to zip right through and knock that away if he can't take it away himself.
3rd down, 3 yards stand between the Queen City Corsairs and that yellow first down stripe. They are in field goal range, barring a disaster. Caswell going to throw. Great pocket and great throw to Chris Curtis, who's able to get down to the 11-yard line. Was working there on Giovanni Bolt, and he has a first down.
They're starting to put these receivers in different slots of the field, trying to get different matchups, and that right there, Chris Curtis was matched up against no one. As these slants have just been killing Baltimore.
This Baltimore defense, Tucker Lewis, Chad Rowland, and Mac Chima are the defensive linemen. Joe Dazzo, along with Cyron Yates, the 4th, and Amon Takes are the linebackers. Kaz McFly, Hendricks Thornberry, the 2 great cornerbacks, along with Marvin Himes, Tony Willis, and Giovanni Bolt, the defensive backs. Flip here is caught for the touchdown. Queen City wastes no time there. Getting in the end zone is Elgin Villanueva. They are using every receiver on the bench, and they have the lead.
The 8th different receiver who have caught a pass today, and they're just spreading the love and sharing it with every receiver today, and it's just been free for Queen City once they figured it out. All they have to do is just spread and break open the scoring.
And a 9-point swing if this extra point goes through from the safety by the Queen City Corsairs on Baltimore. Dazzo was trying to get a screen out to T-Roy Gaines, and Baltimore got there, Queen City got there for the safety, and it's 16-14. Queen City on top by those 2 points. Simulation Football League will be right back on 11 Sports. Back here at Conpro Field, Andy Hamilton along with Levant Irvine for Week 13 action. And for those of you looking to keep track of the Simulation Football League, you can follow us on Twitter at SimulationFL. You can use the hashtag #MakeAnImpact to spread the word, and you can share some of our wonderful information that we're passing out there. Well, for Queen City, it was a 9-point split. Last time this Baltimore offense was on the field, Mike Dazzo got sacked in the end zone here. And just like that, Queen City takes the lead.
Yeah, and Queen City was really able to take advantage of that field position way. The insane pressure that they had on the quarterback, and that's been one of the key differences in this game so far.
Two in the backfield. Dazzo throws an out route. Caught there, turning upfield, but only able to get 8. The impact was enough to push Bishop Warfield out of bounds.
Yeah, just look at it again right here. This is just when you have a big physical receiver like Warfield, you know you can't leave him isolated with just the corner. He needs some support back there, and he's able to muscle through for those tough yards.
Jeff Duffy, Kyrie Hasten are the defensive linemen. Avery King is the inside linebacker, along with Tanner Hendricks. Pharaoh Rains are the cornerbacks. And more defensive backs to come after this T. Roy Gaines first down run to the 44. You also have Bo Fee and Achilles Frank, along with Nacho Sicario back there. Levant, some good secondary members for this Queen City Corsairs team.
Yeah, they're no slouch themselves. They've boasted the top 5 secondary the past 3 seasons. So, you got to really look out for them back there.
Gaines shut down at the line, and we've seen that up the middle running is not working for T. Roy Gaines tonight.
No, they've been keeping him a little bottled up, but don't get complacent if you're Queen City right now, because he has had games like this where he doesn't show up until the 4th, and when the defenses are tired, he makes one big play, and that can change the whole game.
Averaging 4.7 yards per carry, had 243 touches coming into tonight's game, and they will feed him plenty. Dazzo out of bounds there for Warfield. Picks up a few. It'll be 3rd and 3 here.
Yeah, don't need to get too fancy there if you're Baltimore. Just take some safe plays and give some more chances for T-Roy to get through. Also, 3rd and 3, short yardage situation. Whole playbook's available to Baltimore here.
Got to get to the 45 in order to move the chains. 2 receivers are out. Dazzo going to throw the out route at the top of the screen. Perfect route. First down caught by Daly Holder, and they had that the whole way. The secondary for the Corsairs was playing soft.
Yeah, they thought Baltimore's going to just go launch one deep. Some teams like to do that in short yardage situations, try to catch a defense off guard. Baltimore played it safe there conservatively, just got the yardage that they needed. It's a very close game. You don't want to make big mistakes.
1st and 10, 3 in the backfield. They'll flip it out to Gaines. Gaines with blockers, but Gaines is going to be drove out of bounds there at the 33. Nice play there by Queen City coming over to corral T. Roy Gaines, but he managed to get 8.
Yeah, Gaines was, as you just saw, was able to. He didn't really wait for his blocker there. He thought he could take it himself. He stiff-armed one, but couldn't get through the other. Sometimes you really do have to wait for that block. Blocker was coming to help, but he just outran him.
They will throw again out to Gaines. Gaines off the left side. Spin move, and he is hammered as he crosses the first down marker to the 30.
Good vision there that time to notice that the guard wasn't able to pull in time and was trailing the play. So that time was able to just cut across, spin away from one defender, get that tough yardage all by himself.
1st and 10, Queen City 30-yard line, 5 minutes to go. Offsides, free play here for Dazzo. Throws the out route, caught by Holder. They will most likely take this penalty for 5.
Yeah, it was a free play. Let's see what it is.
Definitely an offsides there from what I saw, and Stripes saw it the same. Well, for those of you at home who are new to the Simulation Football League, you have the opportunity to join one of our 21 franchises across a large variety of cities, including some international teams. There could be one very close to you, whether you have an NFL franchise or not. There might be a Simulation Football League team that pertains to you. Flip out here to T. Roy Gaines going the wrong way. Well covered there by Queen City. It was Jeff Duffy who came over the end who was able to get the tackle.
Yeah, it looks like there was a bit of a screenplay that just didn't work out. I mean, defense was able to jam these linemen, and Duffy stayed home. when you don't actually over engage on these plays and you stay home, you're able to just get to the ball carrier because there's no one in front of you at that point.
2nd and 9 from the 29 after the loss. Dazzo gonna throw one. That one nearly picked off. Avery King had the opportunity at it, but the inside linebacker could not make the pick.
Yeah, he was right there with the play. He was just spying, saw the quarterback's eyes, knew where he wanted to go with the football, but some linebackers aren't the most sure-handed catchers, and he just let it hit the turf. He tried though.
Big 3rd down here. Baltimore down by 2, trying to get more than just 3 on this drive. Dazzo stands, some pressure coming, has to unload, and it's incomplete. Was not able to find the receiver. Avery King in coverage again there.
Yeah, there was a corner on that. There was one. It looked like it was Tanner Hendricks that was covering the receiver, but he just over pursued ball instead of the man and left Avery King to have to do it all by himself. Luckily, linebacker's pretty good at hitting hard, so he jarred the ball loose, and that was enough to save the play.
Field goal unit on. Shark Tarkington has missed 1 kick all year. He is 20 for 21 coming into this game. A little bit of a low snap. Kick does get off and on the way, and it is good from 46. Baltimore regains the lead 17-16 after a long drive from the Vultures, results in points.
Yes, it was a very good drive from Baltimore. They were able to get down the field. They had some of the running game, but they got some key passes through. We're not able on that last possession to get any more than 3 points, but you'd like to keep this game close if you're Baltimore.
For Queen City, they do get to get the ball back here in this second frame in the first half of play. 4-minute offense will come out after this return here. Goes out to the 20 again. Chad Gilson decides to bring the ball out.
Yeah, Gilson's been doing a very good job on offense today. He caught a couple balls himself, and while he hasn't been, exceptional with returning the ball, he's been able to at least get to where they should start.
3 receivers split out here. Caswell, shotgun look, 4-3 defense out of Baltimore. They will only bring 4. Caswell pressured, though, has to get rid of it. Namon does an incredible job playing the back there. Oh, my.
Yeah, that's what Baltimore needs a lot more of. They were able to get there in Casper's face. He threw a bit of a duck there, and Amon Takes is just a very punishing linebacker. When he's alone with the back there, he may be away from the play for a moment, but he'll be there and in your face in no time.
It's going to be a 2nd and 10 from the 20. And Caswell going to stand in the pocket. Slow throw is able to be corralled. It'll bring up 3rd and 3. Hacker, nice reception across the middle to make this more manageable.
Yeah, they finally found the way to get Hacker a little more involved. I mean, they've been increasing the number of his targets as this game has gone along, and he's been getting open through the middle there.
4 receivers split out here on 3rd and 3. Caswell going to fire, finds the open man. It's Steven Hacker. 90 all slants was the call from this Queen City offensive coordinator, and they are able to move the chains.
It's such a good play, too. Just look at it again. You'll always have at least someone fast enough to cut across and beat his man, and that time Hacker's just been having a great day.
3:05 left to go here. Time starts a ticking here in the second. Still a first down for Queen City, as the Corsairs try and answer this Baltimore field goal that regave them the lead. Caswell pressured, has to get rid of it. Beautiful out route there, just past the sticks for a first down. Steven Hacker. So it will reset the downs. First down for Queen City. They have got this drive going here, and they are trying to put points on the board here in this pivotal playoff matchup for them as they try and get to 6-6. They could not complete that pass to Chris Curtis. Only 4 receptions for the star receiver so far tonight.
Yeah, he's been having a tough time. Probably paired up against Sternberry or McFly on every other play, and they've been able to bottle him up for the most part. He's only been able to get involved when the play is designed to pull him away from the defense. That may be what they need to put more stock in, moving towards the middle of the field instead.
3 receivers wide for Caswell, who will start under center. Gives to Willis. First run play from Queen City we've seen in a while, and they are able to pick up 4. It'll be 3rd and 6.
Yeah, you don't always need to get the most glamorous yards. 4 yards here, there is still great. It's still a great day for a running back if you don't break one loose.
3rd down, 6 yards to go, and they are most likely going to just get a look, and then they're going to take this down to the 2-minute warning. A 1-point lead for Baltimore here in the second. Big 3rd and 6 upcoming. We'll take a short break. It's the Simulation Football League on 11. Andy Hamilton along with Levant Irvine here for Tuesday night action, 7:52 here in Buffalo, New York on the Eastern Seaboard. And the Queen City Corsairs are going to try a QB sneak, and Caswell with room slides down at the 28. How about the QB sneak on 3rd and 6, Levant?
Hey, when you're not expecting it, you're expecting the ball deep. They've been passing to these out routes. Sometimes as a quarterback, you know the call is just, hey, give it to me, I got it. And that's what he did right there. A little bit of trickeration gets the first down.
15 carries, 35 rushing yards for A.J. Caswell. Before that run there was averaging 2.3 yards per carry. He was able to find 6 and a first down for Queen City. Hey, there's never a bad time to call a trick play.
Only when it's a fake field goal when you're like not even in range.
Well, we'll get to that another day. Split backs for Caswell. Throws a pick! Oh! Intercepted on a diving attempt! Tony Willis makes A.J. Caswell regret that throw as Chris Curtis could not get it on the diving attempt.
Yeah, the timing was off there. And that's what I'm just...
Oh, that's pass interference.
That might... Now, the question is that possible to challenge? And I'm not sure that is.
Is not. They cannot reverse a play called on the field here in the Simulation Football League. Tony Willis got in the way, bumped Curtis off his route. Might have been within 5 yards. I'd have to see the replay again, so maybe it was legal. And then Willis able to dive and make the pick, an incredible play. And it's turned right back over! Queen City able to take it away. It's Bo Fee!
And you know what? Karma has a way of just showing up, and that right there, very clean interception, by the way. That time, receiver just gets hit, has possession of the ball's jarred loose, it's in the air and into Bo Fee's hands. And now Queen City gets another chance at life.
You know what they say, Levant, ball don't lie, and Bo Fee took that ball right back for this Queen City Corsairs team with a minute to go here in the second. Caswell going to sling one, and that is incomplete. Stayed towards the sidelines that time to avoid the play. And if you're wondering what Queen City's playing for, well, they're trying to get into the top 10 to make the Simulation Football League playoffs. 2 spots up for grabs. Tulsa currently at 6-6. Queen City trying to get up there with them at 6-6. Sioux Falls plays later tonight. Very important. It's the last night of Week 13, last night of the regular season. One team's getting in, one team's going home. Caswell to throw on second and 10, caught out of bounds, 7-yard pickup.
Yeah, same play, different receiver, and you're able to tell just what the difference was there. In the previous play, the receiver felt like he was more worried about staying in bounds before receiving the ball, whereas this time Matthews Jr. receives the ball first and then checks to see where he is.
Sioux Falls has the Chicago Wildcats tonight, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time on the 11 Sports Network. Important game there as Sioux Falls tries to get their playoff hopes going. But Queen City first here, trying to take care of business. Down to the 2, and with 45 seconds to go, they're running a hurry-up.
I'd like to see some slants here.
2 receivers wide, 2 tight end on the line for Caswell. Floats back in the end zone, caught! Touchdown, James Matthews Jr., and Queen City retakes their lead.
Well, you know what? Not only that, they just went with that fade instead. They sent the tight end on a goal line fade, and you know what? That's just beautiful right there. Lofts the ball right over the defense, and when you have a player that big, you know he's going to come up with it.
Fire the cannons at Conpro Field. The Queen City Corsairs have retaken the lead. It'll be 23-17, barring any disaster here on the extra point from Kyle Casey, the rookie kicker. Week 9 was when he was signed, and he puts this ball up and through to make it 23-17. Levant, tons of rookie signings coming through, and anyone at home can join in on the action. You can make a difference for a Simulation Football League team next season. All you have to do is head over to simulationfl.net. You can do so on your phone. You can do so on your computer. Simulationfl.net. Join our Discord server where you can chat football with some people who love it very much, including me and Levant, as well as our commissioner, Cameron Irvine. And from there, you can start checking in starting tonight to build your draft stock for the Season 14 draft.
And it's going to be a really big one, too. I mean, December 14 can't come fast enough for us. I mean, sometimes, but, you know, we still have the playoffs ahead of us as well, and there's a lot of action here today.
Tons of rookies getting involved, and you love to see it. As an owner myself, a team owner, I love watching rookies come in and getting to know them. Everyone has a different personality, and it's a blast. Dazzo fires, caught by the tight end up the middle. Baltimore does have all 3 timeouts, and they're going to run some hurry-up. Handoff here. Gaines up the middle. T-Roy Gaines gets up to midfield. Surprised they haven't taken a first timeout. Two backs in the backfield, down to 4. They will snap it. Handoff to Gaines, and now a timeout with 2 seconds left. 3rd and 1 for the 48. Just enough time for a Hail Mary.
I've seen this a couple times, and I don't get it. Pick one, whether you're going to the half or not. 2 seconds to go, what do you want to do? A Hail Mary? You had at least time for 4 plays. Now you only have time for 1.
Dazzo gonna bring out the tall receivers. They do have some taller receivers. 6'6", Lloyd Graham Jr., 6'3" is Bishop Warfield, and they'll line them all up on the top of the screen there. 3 down linemen for Queen City. We'll see if they bring that 4th guy or whether he drops into coverage here. 2 seconds to go here in the quarter. He will blitz. 1 flag down. Might be a hold. Dazzo gets the throw away. It's tipped up and incomplete. We will have to check the flag.
Probably think it's holding here.
That is going to be holding. Vultures are... oh, it's a defensive holding. I don't know about that. Wow. Call goes against Queen City.
It's not too often that you see a holding called there. I think that's how that one player got a free lane to the quarterback there. Probably held the tackle there, was able to push him just aside. And you know, it's just as weird as those illegal use of the hands calls. I never understand how they're called, but I do know that they happen.
Second chance here for Baltimore. No, buried in the backfield. Bo Fee, arguably the defensive player of the game so far for Queen City. A pick and a sack, and the Corsairs at home go into the break up 23-17.
Yeah, a lot cleaner that time. Time all alone. Not much else anyone can say about that. They got the sack that time.
Well,
Now going
Levant, yeah, through the first half, Queen City able to battle back. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, they've had a bit of a rough start with that first interception, but you know, after that, they got into a groove, they got into the flow, they kept with their script, and you know, they really put the pressure on Baltimore to do something. Baltimore really did take advantage of that first interception there with a nice drive, getting their first 7 points, but as soon as they started petering out in the first, that's when Caswell was able to take over this game. The defense also played a big part. I mean, they got a safety with some insane pressure on Dazo, and that was really what started the scoring.
Well, Baltimore has only lost twice this season, on the 22nd of September to Alaska, and then on the 25th of August, they lost to the Sioux Falls Sparrows. In those games, T. Roy Gaines on the ground went 15 for 56, and then against Sioux Falls earlier in the season, 29 for 72. Tonight, he is low on yardage. Levant, is that the key?
Really do feel like it is. Once you're forcing Dazzle to drop back and throw, like you see on this replay here, it's hard for him to really do much. He's very much a standing pocket passer when he doesn't have protection in front of him. Because, you know, when this defense has confidence like that, it's going to be real tough. They have some great receiving options, but yeah, I really do feel like T-Roy Gaines is the main catalyst of that offense.
Both losses came on the road, and in both games, Mike Dazo had to throw the ball 50 times each time to try and get the win. He sure has thrown it a lot tonight, has found quite a few different defenders, but also has taken a safety.
Yeah, that's one of the things there is like that really was the big key for momentum for this defense, and that's really what brought Queen City back into the game a bit. They had an extra possession which they also scored a touchdown on, and that's just something Baltimore's really got to key in on, is if they're going to start having to pass more, they're going to have to protect their big brother back there, the quarterback.
Get this, Levant. Dazo in both games, 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in the games that he has lost. So, you know, it'll be very interesting to see here as we go on. Already threw the interception to Bo Fee, and Queen City is going to get this ball back after just scoring on their last possession. Ball on the tee. Baltimore wearing white will kick it back to the Queen City Corsairs here in Buffalo, New York. Andy Hamilton along with Levant Irvine. It will be a kneel down, and Queen City will start at the 20.
So now Queen City's gonna just have to understand that now that they have control of this game starting off in the second half, they're probably going to want to go back to what has been working and just try to drain some clock while they're at it. Try to put the pressure on this defense to do something big.
4 receivers wide. Caswell in the shotgun, going to throw. Out route there for Curtis. Good for 3.
And it's plays like that that get the whole thing started. You got to get the defense back into trying to overcommit to some of these plays. We do know that Baltimore does like trying to jump routes and stuff, but there is a risk attached to that. If you can make good on their aggressivity, you can get receivers to make big plays after the catch.
Teams like Houston, the Hyenas, are watching tonight, rooting for the Baltimore Vultures to knock Queen City down to 5-7, so they have an opportunity to get in. Flipping here, incomplete. Caswell wanted the penalty, did not get it.
Yeah, this time Maryland was just able to just disrupt the pass, just disrupt the timing of that enough by that. Look at this press right here. We don't see this too much on highlights, but that's a really important part of the secondary is to be able to press, read, and react to your man, and he did a great job of it there.
3rd and 7 from the Queen City 23, 10:38 to go here in the third. Shotgun look for AJ Caswell. 3-3 look out of Baltimore. They only bring 3 defenders. Caswell going to throw it, and that is out of bounds, incomplete to Steven Hacker. Levant, you even think about challenging that?
This early in the second half, you're backed up a bit, and timeouts are of paramount importance here. You're ahead. I do not think you should. I know you feel hard done by, but it's just better to try to pin Baltimore back.
Opening drive for the Queen City Corsairs stalls out here in this second half, and Baltimore is going to get the ball back. So the Vultures get the ball back here, and very important, Levant, we are getting some word from SFL headquarters. It's very simple here for Baltimore. They win, they get the number 2 seed and a first round bye. If they lose, they have the number 3 seed and would host the Alaska Storm in Baltimore for the quarterfinals. Definitely a win seems very attractive to Baltimore at that point. T. Roy Gaines out a 6-yard carry. He definitely does not want to see the Alaska Storm again.
Not only that, but the thing about Alaska is they do very, very well in rematch. They really study every opponent from the first second of the first quarter to the last play of the game and every game since, and ready to meet them again. Baltimore has to win this game.
Baltimore in no matter whether they win or lose. For Queen City, if they lose, they're out. Flipping it here. Oh, a one-handed grab right up the middle of the field. Do a little dance on him, Lloyd Graham Jr.
Yeah, tight ends matter, as Mike Dax would say, and right here, big time. Got through the press all alone on the seam. Big number 83, Lloyd Graham, with a little bit of style.
Lloyd Graham Jr. moves the ball up to the 28, and they will throw again outside to T. Roy Gaines. Gaines with a little bit of room, spins off Avery King's tackle and picks up the first down to the 18. Baltimore, this offense is humming out of the break.
Yeah, they've been really keyed in on how this defense has wanted to play, and they've just decided, okay, we're going to involve T-Roy in the passing game. He's a very good receiving back as well, and it's not like they've abandoned the running play. I think it's more like they're going to open up the passing playbook to get T-Roy Gaines involved later.
2 receivers split out, 2 in the backfield. Handoff Gaines. Gaines shut down, loss of 2.
And Jacoby there has to punch through on his own there, but gets through the line and right into the backfield, and he's going to need some more help, though, if he wants to do so again.
For Queen City, if they lose, they are out, and Houston still alive in the playoff talks at 5 and 7. They need a win, and they need a stop here. Outside here to the receiver, Daley Holder. He has had quite the night, 76 yards on 4 catches. Looking at the screen there, if Queen City and Sioux Falls win, Tulsa knocked out of that 9th spot, and they are out. If Queen City loses, Tulsa has their playoff spot. If Queen City wins, they are in. Sioux Falls with a win would go to 10. With a loss, Sioux Falls would be out. And all pandemonium would break loose as they flip it out there. 1st and goal, a first down grab is made. So Queen City wins. They would either play Chicago or would go to Atlanta. They would play either in Chicago or in Atlanta. 2 dangerous SFL teams, but they would be in the playoffs nonetheless. Dazzo gonna float one back in the end zone, tipped away, incomplete into double coverage. Jacoby was there.
Man, Jacoby's been pretty important on this drive. He's got into the backfield once, and now he's isolated in coverage. Against the receiver, that's pretty tough, and was able to get in front of the ball and knock it away. Great play.
So for Queen City, it's really, really simple here, Levant. You win and you're in. At this point, you don't really care about the 9th or 10th seed. You'll worry about that after this game is over. Winning currently with 7:21 to go here in the third. Low snap, Dazzo stand in the pocket, wide open for the touchdown for the Baltimore Vultures. They are able to retake the lead. It's Edward Morgan with the touchdown reception.
Yeah, taking a little bit of Queen City's playbook there, having to get other receivers. That right there, when you have two receivers right open like that, that means there's been a lapse or breakdown in coverage. It looks like they had a play that was trying to swarm uh, the end zone with more defenders, but they forgot the covered receivers. You can't just outnumber them; you have to also cover them, and that's what led Baltimore 40 in.
And the Vultures, with that extra point from Shark Tarkington, retake the lead 24-23 on top of the Queen City Corsairs. We have the rest of the third coming your way. It's the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. Baltimore Vultures in town here at Buffalo, New York to retake the lead 24-23 over the Queen City Corsairs on a touchdown throw and catch from Mike Dazzo to the receiver that really set things off, Edward Morgan, to give the Vultures a 1-point lead. And now Queen City Corsairs retake the ball. But for Baltimore, a win here tonight would give them a first-round bye and the number 2 seed in the SFL. They would go over Seattle. If they would lose, they would fall to the number 3 seed, and they would face the number 6 Alaska Storm in those quarterfinals in Baltimore, but still not a team you want to face. The Alaska Storm, the 3-time defending champions. Very tough team, and Baltimore's trying to avoid that with just a simple win tonight here on the road in Queen City.
Yeah, and really what they need to work on defensively to make sure that they're able to evade Alaska and get themselves, an extra week is really pressuring Caswell. They have not been able to do that too much today. I don't remember if they had a sack or not, but if they did, it was when they had extra tacklers.
Caswell looking to throw it, will sling it near side. Stephen Hacker inbounds for 6. It'll make it third and manageable. They've done a really good job against the sticks here, Levant, of keeping these third downs in short yardage.
Yes, they really have. That's how they've gotten Hacker involved in the game, and it's been really working to a good effect here. They seem to just stop covering the flats as much so they don't get beat over the top, and that just leaves Hacker free to just gain 7 here and 7 there.
6.5 to go in the third. Caswell going to throw. Little bit of interference. Still caught there to the 39 by Chris Curtis. It looked like the play earlier that went for an interception, but Curtis hauls that one in.
Yeah, that time he was able to get right through, and he's a veteran wide receiver who just has the skills necessary to get through. He's very physical, and he's able to just muscle through and get that ball.
Got skills, will pay bills. Shotgun look here for Caswell. Going to sling it out to Jared Willis. Willis tries to get back to the line, but cannot. Was led too far back.
Yeah, the pass was a little low even for a check down like that, and it just kind of sold his receiver short. Usually when one says that, those balls are intercepted, but this time it's just a swing pass. But one says that, and they're supposed to at least make it back to line of scrimmage. Loss of one is not what you want to see.
4-3 look out of Baltimore. Queen City going to throw. Slings it near side. Caught just barely. And turning upfield, James Matthew Jr. He's had a couple of those close throws tonight as Baltimore tried to jump on the route but couldn't quite get it done.
That's what I was mentioning earlier about trying to attack the defense's aggressivity. And right there, took a little risk there, but, you can't jump every ball. You can't jump every route. And you have to take advantage on one-on-ones like that. Baltimore is a very aggressive on-the-ball team, and you just have to take risks like that for maximum gain.
Matthew did a good job of putting his body in between the defender and the ball and was able to bring it in for the Queen City first down into Baltimore territory. Out route there for Curtis, and I don't know. They marked him out. Looked into me.
Yeah, you only need 1 foot in, and it looked into me too. This is the time where I would have used the challenge they didn't use earlier. So let's see if they do.
I mean, you live to fight again on second down. At least the last one would have kept a drive alive. I mean, that's just the way I look at it, though.
Yeah, I'm also just looking at the field position game.
Yeah, that's true as well. They will not challenge. They're going to let this one stand and hold on to those timeouts just in case. Shotgun snap for Caswell. Going to throw near side. That one is called inbounds. Stephen Hacker, maybe a little bit of a makeup call there, does get 4.
Yeah, but that's just not quite a kind of yardage the last one have, so I'm not sure how much of a makeup call it is, but, well, it's even, quote unquote, now.
3rd and 6 from the 38. Shotgun look for Caswell. Seen this a lot tonight. Has worked with mixed results. 3-2 look out of Baltimore. They decide to bring a 4th guy. Out route there is short of the sticks. Brought in by Chris Curtis. Now the question is, do you trot Kyle Casey out for a 50-yard attempt?
I don't think it's within his range too, and I just feel like, unfortunately, you're going to have to punt.
They will send out Ricky Matthews. Now, I will say they punted in a similar situation. We're able to pin Baltimore deep, and then they got a safety off of that. They're going to try and do that again. This one going to bounce down at the 5 and roll into the end zone. A poor special teams play there made by Bo Fee, his first mistake of the night, and it cost them 18 yards. Baltimore gets the ball when we return. The Simulation Football League on 11 Sports. Andy Hamilton along with Levant Irvine here in the booth from Conpro Field. 4 minutes and 18 seconds left in this third quarter of play. A back and forth battle between the Baltimore Vultures and the Queen City Corsairs. Dazzo looking to throw, will swing it out to T-Roy Gaines. Gaines through one tackle and shoved out of bounds after a pickup of 6. Levant, this Baltimore team has rallied back from a safety, a touchdown against them, and have a 1-point lead and the ball back.
Yeah, they are a very scrappy team, not going to lie. They have had a couple close games this season, and every season they have had some games with to fight from behind, and you know what? They rally around that fact, and they know they can get through anyone.
Gaines on a stretch play, brought down after a pickup of just 1. It'll be 3rd and 2. Nicely defended there by Kyrie Hasten.
Yeah, even when he does get some yardage free, he just doesn't seem to get into that second level, and that's when he's so dangerous. And Queen City's been doing a good job of making sure that if he does gain yards, it's not enough.
Third down. 2 is what's needed. Queen City has a ton of guys in the box. They're going to flip it out to Gaines with plenty of room. T-Roy Gaines has the first down. Queen City was not expecting the screen.
Yeah, that time, just look at it again right here. That time they were all engaged on the quarterback trying to put pressure on him, and when you don't have someone out there, that's just not what you do against Gaines. And
See Mark Mello as well as Ashley Jackson in the chat. Both of them play for the Tulsa Desperados. Tulsa would clinch a playoff spot if Queen City were to lose tonight, and T-Roy Gaines trying to do just that with a big run out to the 48. You can join the conversation on twitch.tv/11sports next. Let us know you're new, and we'll call your name out live on air. Good run from Gaines.
he just has that open lane right through. Punched right through the center. Just went with him and took him all the way.
Four down linemen for the Queen City Corsairs. 4 receivers split out for the Baltimore Vultures. 9-2 their record coming into tonight's game, only up by a point. T-Roy Gaines shouldered to the ground. Nice defensive play there. A little bit of aggressiveness from Tim Jacoby, who's having quite the night.
Yeah, he tried to do the same thing he did on the last play, but Jacoby was able to run that time, was able to close that before it opened up again.
Now down to 2 minutes here in the third and a little bit of change. Baltimore trying to take as much time off the clock as they can. Queen City here facing a screen pass to Gaines. Gaines one-hands it, turns upfield, able to pick up 9. It'll be 3rd and inches.
Yeah, Baltimore might feel a little hard done by that spot, but I think he is short. Just take a look at it again. Just not having anyone cover outside, and that's just a big problem when you have a back that's good. I think it's just, yeah, he just doesn't get the ball across before his knee touches down to make that second effort.
Cam Slats7 asks who is watching on their TV. Cam, I promise you, plenty of people are watching on their TV. If you're at home and you are watching on your TV and want to say hello to Cam and the rest of us here, all you have to do is head over to simulationfl.net, join our Discord server where you can become a player, and then, or beforehand, you can head over to twitch.tv/11sports next, and you can chat in the Twitch chat there. And let us know you are watching and where you might be watching from. We would love to call your name out. Cam, welcome to the league. Hopefully you get in the Discord and you can make a player. First down for Baltimore at the 36. Minute to go here in the third. Out route. Oh, almost jumped. It was well defended and positioned by Bishop Warfield, who got in between the defender and the ball.
Yeah, this is one of those times where it was the correct thing to do, but just not enough to do much else with it.
Two receivers split out for Dazzo in the shotgun. 4-3 look out of the Queen City Corsairs. Dazzo pressured, has to get rid of it, floats it, picked off! Queen City takes the ball back! It's a big interception for Nacho Sicario!
And he just said this is Nacho possession! With aplomb. Right here, just jumps up and grabs it and takes it away. With that pressure on the quarterback, that's going to send us to the break.
The Simulation Football League on 11 Sports will be right back after we step aside. Andy Hamilton along with Levant Irvine here Week 13 Simulation Football League action, a vital game for Queen City as they try and get in the playoffs. Caswell throwing after the interception. He finds Chris Curtis, and Queen City has shifted some momentum back in their favor.
Yeah, but they're going to need to get a score quick here and plays like this get you started. Quick slants right here. On the all slants once again, just finds that open receiver. They're just going to start getting a move on and trying to lead this momentum to rally them forward.
Look at Caswell's numbers tonight, 288 yards for the big quarterback, playing for the Buffalo, New York franchise. Some people get confused about which Queen City we're talking about. It's Buffalo, New York. A.J. Caswell, outside route here, good for 5, and Buffalo, New York, a good city to the Simulation Football League, actually won the first championship in league history. This franchise did, the Queen City Corsairs, and consistently a playoff team.
Yeah, even when they were back as the New York Knights, they only really had...
Looking to throw, and that is going to be a first down catch to the 43. Stephen Hacker on the crossing route moves the chains for the Queen City Corsairs. End of the third, a 1-point game. Get your 4s up in the chat, and we will be back for 11 minutes more of action in this game. Tonight's Simulation Football League broadcast on 11 is brought to you in part by Nation's Best Football, helping NFL, college, high school, and youth players to secure the bag. By ScoreStream, official live scoring app of the SFL. By Sector 6, custom esports jerseys and apparel, the exclusive SFL shop provider. And by SpyGoat, dedicated to the craft of audio. Aerial shots tonight brought to you by AirViews United by Drone. Visit airviews.com to see more drone footage. Back here in New York, Buffalo to be exact. 11 minutes on the clock in the fourth quarter to decide the fate of the playoffs for a couple SFL franchises, not just the Queen City Corsairs. Also Baltimore, Tulsa, as well as potentially Houston. Out route here for Hacker is caught for 3, and Levant with everything on the line Tulsa, Queen City, Houston, all affected by this game, maybe even Sioux Falls.
Yeah, this is an extremely vital game for final seedings for many of these teams. Sioux Falls has their own destiny, but only if Baltimore really has to win this for that to really be the case. Queen City has a free ride if they win here.
Caswell gonna sling one. That is caught up across the middle in a horse collar tackle that does not get called. James Matthews Jr. has really been a safety blanket for Caswell tonight.
Yeah, he's really been bailing them out of some tough drives. Just gets dispossession and then gets dragged down. They can't even bring him down normally. Start the ball loose. They just have to do everything they can to stop him, and he's just absolutely wrecking this defense so far.
Ghibli in the chat is correct. Sioux Falls isn't necessarily affected whether they get in or not by this one, but the seeding could be depending on the outcome. Floater caught! James Matthews Jr. again, Mr. Reliable up the middle to the 4.
Once again, just able to punch through this slant route, beating both a safety and a linebacker there, and that's just that. No, beating both linebackers, sorry, there, and he's just so fast.
Baltimore's fate also could be decided by this game going to Alaska, a very tough playoff matchup. Alaska has not lost since the Season 9 playoffs once the postseason arrives. Flipping it out to Willis here. Willis to the corner, to the edge! Touchdown, Jared Willis! Touchdown, Queen City! They lead 29 points tonight.
And this is what I said needed to really happen on this drive. As soon as they got the momentum, take points and put them on the board, and that's what they did on this drive. A quick strike into the end zone. Willis powers through, and now Queen City's just got to really get back on defense, put pressure on Baltimore, and get the ball back, and just keep piling on.
29-24, a 5-point lead. This extra point would make it 6, and Levon, I'm surprised they're not considering going for 2.
I mean, it might...
6-point game means nothing. If they score a touchdown, it would still be a 7-point lead, or a 1-point lead for Baltimore, even if they don't get the 2. Either way, it's going to be a 6-point lead for Queen City. Later tonight at 9:30, Sioux Falls and Chicago set to do battle. Sparrows trying to clinch their own ticket to the playoffs. Chicago is in, but seeding will be determined via the outcome of that game live here on 11. You're not going to want to move out of your comfortable chair except maybe to grab a bucket of popcorn. Return here comes out to the 30-yard line, 9:44 to go here in the 4th. Levant, if you are Baltimore, I think it's the T-Roy Gaines screen show that has worked the best for you tonight.
Yeah, they're going to probably have to take a page out of Sioux Falls' book and just keep going to Swing City, because that's what's been working for them. As you see here, on the ground hasn't been able to do an exceptional amount, but in the air he's been doing so much more.
1st and 10 from the 30. They will flip it out to Gaines. Gaines, with some room, is going to pick up 8. Nice, comfortable run for T-Roy Gaines. And for Queen City, I don't know if they're comfortable giving that up, but, you know, a lot of weapons here on this Baltimore offense. You kind of got to pick and choose your battles.
Yeah, there's a lot of weapons. Warfield's also torched him a couple of times, and Holder's got a touchdown in this game. You can't really just expect to just lock down one player and not have another one roam free. It's just who is that player and at what time.
Handoff Gaines shut down. Big 3rd and 2 coming here. Queen City trying to get off the field just after taking a lead.
Yeah, that will prove very paramount in maintaining this lead. As you said earlier, Baltimore, if they get a touchdown, they're going to be leading by 1. They're going to have to get the stop here on 3rd and 2.
Handoff Gaines, right side, stopped! Queen City brought the pressure and they got to him, and Baltimore will punt.
What monumental pressure right there by Duffy. He was just, not Duffy, number 90. Kyrie Hansen was just able to just punch right through. was he had to reach out and grab him because he was jammed up on the line there, but he made that second effort and brought T-Roy Gaines down.
Payson had the sack earlier to bring on the safety and give his team 2 points. A big tackle for loss there will give Queen City the ball back. The Corsairs trying to play their way into the playoffs. A win does it. If you're just tuning in, it's the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports, the chance for anyone to become a professional football player and make the playoffs, as Queen City is trying to do tonight. All you have to do is head over to simulationfl.net and join our Discord server. Discord, a free chatting app that you can sign up for. You can put the mobile application on your phone. You can also do it on your Discord, or on your, you can also have Discord on your web browser or on your PC. Plenty of options to get involved, plenty of ways to get involved. You can become a coach, a coordinator. You can also become a rookie for the upcoming rookie draft, which takes place Saturday, December 14th. 2nd and 4 faces this Queen City offense. They have the lead. Now they're trying to maintain it. One in the backfield from the 33. Handoff Willis. Jared Willis, first down run all the way out. 1st and 10 at the 43, and that will take some time off this clock.
Just what a beautiful, beautiful execution of that play by Queen City right here. Pull, gets there right in time, seals the edge, gets Willis through. He doesn't have to get skinny. He doesn't have to do anything special. The lane is made for him. The play was done to perfection, and he just gets those yards.
Doug Day in the chat asks if Queen City wins, are the playoffs set? For Queen City, yes. If the Corsairs were able to win, as the sidearm pass is caught and Matthew Jr. gets up to midfield, if Queen City wins, they are in, but the playoffs as a whole are not set. That would just determine one of the remaining 2 spots. Tulsa currently listed in 9th. They have not secured their spot. They would do so if Queen City loses. If Queen City wins, they are not even eliminated yet. If Sioux Falls and Queen City wins, Tulsa is out, as well as Houston is still alive in there. 90 all slants, but pressure coming and a sack, and a big one at a pivotal time. Amon comes and he takes away some yardage there.
And this is what I've said they've needed to be doing earlier, and they send him on takes on blitz, and he's reminds me of Office linebacker, coming out of nowhere and just slamming people down. That's what he did right there. Comes out and just sends them to the Shadow Realm.
And it puts Queen City in an important 3rd and 11 from the 42 with 6 minutes here in the 4th. Caswell floats one, caught, and that is a first down to James Matthews. Very pivotal play.
And just swings the momentum right back. He's been doing this all day. He's just attacking that seam. They keep sending him on that 9, and he just keeps on finding it time and again. Just
1st and 10 from the 47. Oh, a pick, and he's going to go. He's got the rain. He's got the distance. It's going to be a touchdown, Baltimore. Oh, my. Giovanni Bull bolts his way for 6, and Baltimore's back in front.
He's just striked a dagger in the heart of the here. Comes out with, just reads the play, cuts in front of the receiver, bumps him a little, and there he goes. No one around him, and he's just gone. What great speed.
Chat loses their mind on twitch.tv/11 sports next. If you want to get in the conversation, oh my, talk about being clutch. And Levant, here's where the not going for 2 comes into play. It's a tie game now. Had you got the 2-point conversion, you would still be up by 1, and it would only be tied if they hit this extra point. Instead, Baltimore will take the lead as long as Shark Tarkington is good on this extra point play. He is 31-30. The Vultures take the lead over the Queen City Corsairs. The Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. We'll be right back. Baltimore Vulture. The Vulture is a bird of prey, and prey Giovanni Bolt did as he jumped right in front of a pass to Chris Curtis and was able to return that interception off of A.J. Caswell for 6 points for the Baltimore Vultures. The 9-2 Vultures retake the lead from Queen City. And Levant, at the break, you and I talked, if Queen City would have gone for 2, they could have been tied now instead of down by 1.
They've been a little risk adverse in this game so far. They didn't go for 2. They didn't challenge the call. They didn't challenge the other call, and both of them being in the second half. And they're gonna have to take some now to regain this lead.
5.5 to go. It's anyone's ball game. A 1-point difference separates these two teams. James Matthews Jr. catches for 5. Joe Dazzo, his 8th tackle of the night.
Yeah. Veteran presence, they're on the defense, mentors Amon takes, and he just leads that front 7 with such grace and precision. He was just able to get across, box to box, get over to the other side, and is just able to knock the ball away.
Handoff here, Willis gonna go nowhere.
And that's been the case for him so far today. If he just like Gaines on the other side of the field, if he hasn't been involved in the receiving game, he's been involved in the running game too much.
That was the only pick 6 of Giovanni Bolt's season so far, and now Queen City faces this 3rd and 6 with 4.5 to go. Caswell floats one. That is incomplete. Defended really well there by Hendricks Thornberry, and now decision time for Queen City. You got to punt this.
Yeah, definitely gonna punt this with the field position that they're at now, and now they are under fire here. Because you really shouldn't be going for it now. It would be rather strange if they did. Rio really backed up there. Great play by Thornberry, just sitting on that route there.
They send out Ricky Matthews. Queen City trying to make the Simulation Football League playoffs. They start on October 12th. Championship later on Wednesday, October 30th, right here on 11. Return here coming for Bolt. Just had the long interception return for a touchdown. He will only get to the 45, and now it's on the Queen City defense to try and hold Baltimore to at least 3, but even a field goal makes this a touchdown, not a field goal game for this Queen City offense.
Yeah, what they're really going to have to focus on here is they got to really keep the pressure on Baltimore. Really got to get in the backfield. When they have gotten in the backfield to stop either Gaines or sack the quarterback, they've been doing better on defense.
Handoff up the middle to Gaines. Gaines brought down after a pickup of 5, gets to the midfield stripe.
And speaking of which, this is a time where Gaines is going to probably shine the most. Hasn't done much all day, but the defense is getting out there more and more. Has been starting to wear down here and there. And it's time for bell cow like him to come out and just punch through, make a big play happen.
Nacho Sicario, the leading turnover maker for this Queen City defense. They've seen some screens out of this formation. They are going to run it again, and T-Roy Gaines turns upfield and has the first down out to the 41.
Yeah, this is going to be really dangerous now. Gaines is catching fire here. He's gaining some heat. He's gaining some steam. Every play like this just boosts his confidence that he hasn't really had too much of in this game, and you gotta be careful of that big play potential.
Eddie Gage in the chat, Houston Hyena trying to root for Baltimore to win this game in order to keep the Hyenas in the conversation for the playoffs at 5 and 7. 3 backs in the backfield here, 4-3 look out of the Queen City Corsairs against the Vultures. Dazzo under center. He has Gaines and Cliff Boston. He'll dump it out to Gaines. One-handed catch. Gaines with a little bit of room and another first down to the 29. Queen City cannot stop the screen.
Yeah, and I think part of that is they're just not assigning defenders to cover the flats, cover the curls, cover this little area of the field right there where Gaines is running. You can always set defenders like a linebacker out there. You could set a corner designated specifically in that spot. They haven't been doing that, and he's just been able to just keep going there for free.
Now getting dangerously close to the 2-minute warning. 1st and 10 for Baltimore on the 29. They have successfully siphoned a lot of this clock away. Handoff here to T. Roy Gaines, stuffed at the line there at the 29. Avery King has been really good on those inside handoffs.
Yeah, not only that, they've been able to engage very well through the gap. On that play, exactly every member of that linebacking core went through a gap. In this case, Achilles Frank acting as one, and in this formation here, comes right through and also helps make the stop.
They didn't have to snap it before the 2-minute warning. They do, and T. Roy Gaines shut down at the 28. A little bit of a break for Queen City. They get to save a timeout. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Baltimore on top by a point, threatening to add to that lead. Queen City trying to get a stop. 3rd and 8, arguably the play of the game coming after a short break. It's the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports. And needles for everyone here in Conpro Stadium. A vital 3rd and 8. Baltimore needs it to keep this drive alive. Queen City needs the stop in order to get the ball back for their offense. Dazzo to throw. Pressure dropped. Mike Dazzo is sacked. Big play for Kyrie Hasten. His 2nd sack of the night, if not 3rd or 4th. And he is going to force Baltimore into a field goal attempt.
Oh, that's real big, and they've been able to get that pressure. Punch right through. And that right there, they've covered every single gap on that play. The A gap had defensive linemen going through it. Had some linebackers busting through. Kyrie Hasten just swims right through, gets right, and just puts Stazzle to the sword there.
Reaction to the sack on the right in the Twitch chat. Kick from Tarkington, only missed once this season. It's on the way, and it's good from 51 yards. Shark Tarkington stays true, and it's a 4-point Baltimore Vultures lead.
Yep, and that's going to make it so that Queen City only has one type of score that they're going to have to make. They're going to have to get a touchdown on this drive.
This could be the drive of the season for Queen City. One mistake can send them home. One glorious play could send them to the postseason. 4 points the difference. Return coming out for Chad Gilson. Gilson gets to the 21, and there will be 79 yards standing between the Corsairs and pay dirt. Well, Levant, how do you start the drive? Are you going ground or air?
I really feel like they're going to have to go through the air early and just try to shock and all of them here.
If you look at the standings here, Queen City currently in 11th. With a win, they will jump into the playoffs. It will secure their spot. Caswell out route there, jumped and incomplete. It was Kaz McFly who had the chance at it, could only get one hand to it. They were trying to hit Hacker, who has been a reception machine today.
Yeah, Hacker's been doing great work for Queen City, getting open. He was only really much in the first, but after they figured out what they needed to do, other receivers had found a little niche in getting those out routes, and he's been consistently there for them today after that.
People and players from Tulsa and Houston watching with bated breath. First down! Caswell laces a throw, and now they go hurry up. First down snap. A.J. Caswell out route there is caught, turning upfield and getting out of bounds to stop the clock. Beautiful play there, and a nice reception is made by Jones Branch. Second and 8, 1:28 to go here. Conpro Stadium has gone silent, letting this offense do their work here in Buffalo. 4-point difference here. Vultures only lost twice. Floater, that one knocked away by Amon Takes. He was doing a good job in coverage, and it's third and a pivotal 8 yards.
Yeah, Dazzle was there on the play as well, and this is just what Baltimore does best. They're able to swarm on the ball fast and quick and in a hurry. If that ball is floating, if it's getting to its target, if it's not over their heads, they're all over it. Just like the namesake Vulture.
8 yards between Queen City and a first down. Caswell will throw. Out route there, caught, turning upfield, and no, they're going to mark him short. It was a good catch and run. The catch was made by Villanueva, but he gets crunched just short of the line by Thornberry.
Look at this man right here. He knows the game is on the line. He goes, leans in, and damn.
Well, Levant, big question here. Do you challenge?
I feel like not only do they have to, but will they?
I would
they
challenge.
They have one timeout left. They only have one.
I would challenge, and if you don't get it, go for it. But, I mean, you never know what Ref 62 will say. Instead, they're going to go for it. Mere inches stand between them and moving on. And it's picked off! Baltimore comes and shuts it down. Kaz McFly on the floater. And I got to disagree with the call. A fade on 4th and inches.
A fade on 4th and inches against this secondary. And to that receiver who has all covered up right there. Probably could have put a blanket on him because send Queen City to bed, because I think this one's pretty much over.
Chat reacting to the interception from McFly. Some teams loving it, other teams distraught, as Baltimore will take their first kneel down here with 1:15 left to go, and Queen City will burn their first timeout.
Yeah, with this much time left, it's just victory formation from here.
Well, and I hate to keep harping on it, Levant, but with Queen City not choosing to go for 2 earlier, they are down by 4, not 3, which makes this a much different last drive for them, as they had to feel like they had to force the ball a little bit more down the field instead of knowing that field goal range could have potentially been a tie.
I feel like they've been very risk adverse this game, and by that I mean there were several calls they did not challenge. There were several decisions they did not make to go for it, like you said. And I feel like in close games like this, you have to know when to be conservative. And right, they were just a little too much so, and that's what probably cost them here.
Sioux Falls and Chicago, 9:30 Eastern tonight. 11 Sports next. The opportunity for the Sioux Falls Sparrows to clinch their playoff spot. This loss for the Corsairs means that they are out of the Simulation Football League playoffs. Tulsa has secured their playoff spot. If Sioux Falls wins, they are in. If they lose, Houston is in. Chicago holds the Houston Hyenas' playoff chances in their hands, but a missed opportunity tonight here for the Corsairs. Well, Levant, from the start, we had a shootout on our hands. It was a 4-point difference between the end of the game. Baltimore comes out victorious. Their ball-hawking defense gets an interception on the final drive. Your final thoughts?
Well, the thing is, both teams really couldn't get their running games going. And here, key, and you look at the time of possession. Queen City really only had to just manage the game better, I feel like, to really close this game out. Most of those turnovers were forced on them later in the game, and I feel like the main key, and I also don't like to keep harping on it, is how risk averse they were in these vital moments where, yes, they were making big plays here and there, but when it really came down to deciding on whether you challenged something or whether you went for it or not, I think those decisions of not making those are really gonna haunt them in their nightmares now.
Well, for Queen City, it was quite the season. They just could not get it done at the end. The Corsairs' season ends here at home at Conpros Field in front of their home crowd. A 4-point loss to the Baltimore Vultures. Baltimore will secure the 2 seed in these playoffs and a first-round bye. They avoid having to face the Alaska Storm in the quarterfinals, and they will move on to the playoffs. For Queen City, a season ends and they will start preparing for season 14. For those of you who enjoyed tonight's broadcast and want to get in on this action, you can head over to simulationfl.net, join our Discord server where you can become a player for one of these franchises. You can help coach one of these franchises, call plays, scout, get involved that way. You can also join the broadcast team and call some games live on TV in front of hundreds of people, if not thousands. All you have to do, head over to simulationfl.net, join our Discord server where you can talk football with some of us who know it best. Tonight, Queen City falls, losing and finishing their season. T-Roy Gaines, the player of the game, there for his reception yards, 84 and 1 touchdown, 1 on the ground, 49 yards. Levant, from the beginning, it was back and forth. Baltimore finishes on top. They move on.
And well earned too. They really fought very hard.
From Buffalo, New York, I'm Andy Hamilton. Levant Irvine was with me on the call, and Cameron Irvine behind the scenes on the 1s and 2s. Thank you, and stay tuned for the 9:30 game between Sioux Falls and Chicago.
See you there.